Namaste, teachers of Andhra Pradesh. Welcome to our video on MCQs, the multiple choice questions. MCQs are questions that present several possible answers, but only one answer is the correct one. MCQs are more than just a way of testing facts. They are powerful tools that can engage students in deeper thinking. As teachers, incorporating MCQs into your assessments can enhance student engagement and provide insights into their learning progress. In this video, we'll discover the best practices while developing MCQs that truly enhance learning and assessments. We learned that good assessments and questions are key to identifying and improving learning outcomes. They help stimulate thinking, ensure understanding, and uncover misconceptions. That's why it's important to make sure the questions we create are of high quality. Let's start with the first best practice. Make the question clear and focused. This means using clear wordings and simple language and avoiding unnecessary information or confusion, such as negatives or double negatives. And also, the questions should be direct. Look at this question. Do you think the stem of this question is clear? No, it is not clear. If you look closely, in this question shown here, the word animals can be interpreted in different ways. Does it include birds or not? Depending on the interpretation, more than one answer is possible here. Therefore, by clarifying in the question whether birds are considered animals can make the question clearer. Another important aspect of clarity is using simple language without unnecessary information. Take a look at this question. Is the stem simple? No, it isn't. The stem is overly complicated and includes extra details that are not needed at all. Now, let's look at the improved version of this question. It is clear and straightforward, allowing students to show their understanding of the formula for the area of a triangle. When creating clear questions, it's important to avoid confusing language, such as negatives or double negatives, which can make questions harder to understand and require extra mental effort from students. Use negatively worded questions sparingly and only when necessary, like when testing specific errors or misconceptions. Now, let's look at the non-example on the left. It uses double negatives. The stem asks which of these is or are not composite numbers. And option B states none of the numbers. This construction is confusing and makes the question difficult to understand. So, how can we improve this? The example on the right shows a better approach by eliminating the negative entirely. The question now asks which of these is or are composite numbers. This change makes the question clearer, allowing students to focus on the content instead of the wording. Let's look at the non-example to the left here. Do you think it's a direct question? Do you think this question has a clear and a specific answer? No, it's not. In contrast, the example to the right, this example asks a direct and clear question. It provides specific numbers, that is 8 apples and 4 more apples, and asks the students to calculate the total number of apples. This question has a straightforward answer, making it easier for students to understand what is being asked and arrive at the correct solution. Now, let's discuss how to make options similar and parallel to avoid confusion. First, make reading easier by removing any repeated words. This simplifies the question and helps students focus on understanding it. Next, arrange options logically. For instance, list choices from smallest to largest. This prevents students from guessing based on the arrangement. Keep options consistent by ensuring all choices match in grammar and meaning so students are not misled by inconsistencies. Finally, avoid using all of the above and none of the above unless addressing a specific misconception. These options can confuse students and make the questions less clear. How does this question increase the reading load? How would you improve it? We can simplify the question to reduce its reading load by removing the common phrase from all the options. To help students, it's important to arrange options in a clear order, whether by size, alphabetically, numerically, or even chronologically depending on the question. For example, in this question, moving option C, that is 3 plus 8 is equal to 9, to the first position keeps the order ascending or descending in length of options. To ensure the options match the question and prevent easy elimination, they must be grammatically and meaningfully consistent. For instance, if the question asks about feelings, but options C and D do not represent feelings, students can easily eliminate them right away because they don't fit the question's requirement. Maintaining consistency in the options helps avoid this type of mismatch. We can improve this question by replacing option C and D with feelings like courage and affection. Using options like all of the above or none of the above can make questions too easy and should generally be avoided. These options are only beneficial when testing for a specific misunderstanding. For example, in the non-example to the left, its students recognize that puddle of water and wet towel are examples of evaporation. They might choose all of the above without truly knowing if cooked rice is also an example. In the better example shown to the right, students are more likely to choose specific options like A or B instead of D. This helps us understand who really knows the concept of evaporation and who doesn't. Another best practice is that MCQs should focus on testing the main ideas and essential skills that students need. Look at this question. Do you think it assesses the main idea? Clearly, this question tests rote memorization of a date rather than understanding the broader significance of the act. However, if we look at this question, which is the example question which is shown to the right, we can say that this question checks for the core concept, as the learning outcome here is to focus on the key cause of the Indian independence movement, allowing students to demonstrate their understanding of the concept. In part 1 of our video, we explored 3 best practices for creating high-quality multiple-choice questions. 1. Make the question clear and focused. Number 2. Ensure options are similar and parallel to avoid confusion. 3. Test the main ideas and lasting skills that students need. Thank you for joining us for part 1 of our series on creating high-quality multiple-choice questions. Stay tuned for part 2, where we will explore the remaining 4 best practices that will further enhance your MCQs.